against Sean Sherk. Yep. But the Sean Sherk fight, we didn't see the same Kenny Florian. He's evolved since then, and Sean basically just shut him down. Yeah. You know, Sean with his excellent wrestling and his power slams and his ability to avoid submissions was just too much for him at that point. I think he's learned a lot from that fight. He's won 6 in a row since then, and I think we're going to see the very best Kenny Florian we can. What we've ever seen, rather. Will that be enough, though? That's the real question. BJ Penn, coming off that loss to George St. Pierre, has been humbled. Yep. He has been more motivated than ever before. He has taken on a new strength and conditioning program with Mar Baritovich, the very controversial strength and conditioning coach, and he has really done all these crazy things to change the way BJ Penn's body moves. And BJ, I think, learned from that George St. Pierre fight that what he thought was great shape was not the same kind of great shape that George is in. And I think he's in phenomenal shape now, and it's going to be a fantastic matchup. I'm really pumped.
He's in that great shape tonight. He's more explosive. He's more dangerous. What do you at home think? Our fans all around the world have voted all night long at UFC.com and online. And you know what? 70% of you believe that BJ Penn will remain the UFC lightweight champion after tonight's main event of the evening. Our text voting all night long brought to you by Tap Out, an expression of combat known worldwide. Now available at tapout.com. So the question is, Joe, who after tonight will leave the best 155-pound fighter in the world?
Well, you know, obviously we're going to find out tonight. I think for Kenny Florian, the key to this fight is movement, avoid BJ's punches, land a lot of kicks. Sean Sherk had some good success with leg kicks in their fight, and I think that's going to be a big part of this fight. Also, I talked to Mark Delagrate. I said, what is the game plan? And what he said was, be unpredictable. I think we're going to see an unpredictable, explosive Kenny Florian. He's definitely going to give it his best shot. Will he have enough to pull it off?
We will soon find out as we have made our way to the main event of the evening for the UFC lightweight title, as the Prodigy is set to face Ken Flo.
Who wants to see fights finishing here? I finish fights!
It's all about cementing your legacy.
And Penn is the best fighter at 155 pounds in the world today.
He's got to beat the out of Kenny Florian.
One-punch knockout power and the takedown.
He's got the mountain.
Ken Florian set to try to win the lightweight title.
When he called out BJ Penn and he said BJ Penn is the master and it's time to kill that master, he believes that.
I want BJ's belt!
BJ is shown to be a beast at 155. I'm going to kill that beast.
Since the fight with George St. Pierre, he's got a whole nother attitude about training.
I think you're going to see the 22-year-old Prodigy. I'm doing this for me now.
Coming off season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter, it's unbelievable how much this kid has grown. Since losing his shot at the title to Sean Sherk 2 years ago, he's gone undefeated 6 fights, and he's stopped every one of those guys except for Roger Huerta.
BJ Penn is at his best at 155. That's the guy that I want to fight. I may finish him in the first round.
Did he really say this?
Top contender
In the UFC lightweight division, Kenny Florian entering the octagon with his brother Keith Florian, his longtime Muay Thai trainer Mark Delagrati from Sityotar, and Peter Welch, his boxing coach, the famous Southie. He steps into the Harley-Davidson prep point for this, the biggest fight of his mixed martial arts career.
Kenny Florian is a very intelligent guy. He's also a great commentator on mixed martial arts. He analyzes fights, breaks down fights. He has a very intellectual approach to this sport, and along with that, he has an incredible work ethic, and he's surrounded himself with excellent trainers. Peter Welch, his boxing trainer, of course, Mark Delagrati, Kevin Kearns for strength and conditioning. Kevin has really reconstructed Kenny's body and really made it a much more muscular, powerful, much better endurance than he ever had before. He has evolved so much from his time on The Ultimate Fighter. But as I said before, the big question is, has he reached that championship level? You know, in destroying Joe Stevenson, he really sent a message to the other 155-pounders. Joe has always been considered a top contender at 155, always been able to hang in there with the best, and Kenny ran through him. And he ran through him better than even BJ ever did. So, you know, this is a very, very, very intriguing matchup, Mike. And if Kenny Florian can defeat BJ Penn, we will have seen probably one of the greatest metamorphoses in all of mixed martial arts, from his time on The Ultimate Fighter to gaining the championship title in the lightweight division.
Kenny Florian really understands and respects the Thai traditions of Muay Thai fighting. He's a Gracie Barra Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. His brother Keith breaks down all kinds of tapes. He spent 2 years, put on 12 pounds of muscle with what he called the missing link, Kevin Kearns. He's also worked some of his conditioning recently with Jonathan Chamberg from George St. Pierre's camp. He said, and I quote, "BJ Penn is the best lightweight in the world, and I see this as an amazing opportunity to test my skills." Look at his eyes, Joe.
Very focused.
Look at his eyes.
You know, he realizes how important this is to his legacy, Mike. You know, the George St. Pierre fight, as we said in the pre-fight, it was very humbling. Very humbling for him. He was beaten down by a bigger, stronger, more technically proficient man with a better game plan. And, you know, I think it woke him up. It woke him up to the level of competition that he's going to have to face.
BJ Penn, the proud Hawaiian, the Hilo boy, the prodigy, has not lost, Joe, at 155 pounds since January of 2002.
He said that the loss to George St. Pierre was a good thing. And the reason being that, he said if he had beat George St. Pierre, he'd have never hooked up with Mark Marinovich, he would have never changed his training, he would have never come to California where he spent the entire 2-month training camp. He would have just done what he's always done, and he needed that. He needed that wake-up call.